Are the Sunrisers now seeing rays of sunshine at the end of a dark tunnel, which could lead them into the playoffs? You're watching another episode of End of Days Play, and this is Uninvited Opinions. Nags, it was a dominating performance from the Sunrisers today. Another team which looks to make a late dash for the playoffs, and they did it in some style against the Delhi Capitals.
Oh, wow. What a victory to rejoice for Sunrisers and what a defeat for Delhi to get over. But yes, it all started with some brave move by Sunrisers. They wanted to slot in Kane Williamson some way or the other. They didn't want to drop Jason Holder because he was adding that stability in the late middle order. So what did they do? They took the brave move and parted that famous opening stand of Warner and Bairstow. So Bairstow missed out, and in came Ridhiman Saha. And what an inspired choice that was. He actually has played one game earlier in the tournament. He batted in the middle order and he was actually not getting anywhere with the momentum. And today he had cleared his mind. He was given all the license to go hard at the top. And Warner was doing the same because they had the cushion of a player of the kind of Kane Williamson in the middle order. So with that, they were taking on one of the best bowling attacks in the tournament, and they just went bang, 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 end up with the highest power play score in the IPL. So 77 for the loss of no wickets in the first 6 overs, and you knew that they were up for the fight.
It was an interesting start for Sunrisers because in the first couple of overs, it was Saha who was the aggressor. And then from the third over onwards, then Warner just took off. And then he basically went after Kagiso Rabada and put on a brilliant opening stand. Warner scored at close to a strike rate of 200. And then once he got out, then Saha just picked up and then, put up an excellent display of hitting.
Saha went on with whatever momentum there was, he had gained in the earlier parts of the innings, and which meant that Manish Pandey could simply come in and give the strike back to Saha. And it showed that after Saha got out, Pandey and Williamson could not necessarily get to the score that they would have ideally liked. In fact, the Sunrisers run rate was so high through the innings that the final 3 overs saw their run rate actually dip. And in spite of that, they ended up with a mammoth score of 219 for the loss of just 2 wickets. So a very forgettable day for all of the bowlers on the Delhi side. And it didn't matter whether you had express pace or you had the spin. Akshar Patel actually tried to slow an odd ball here and there. But basically, such was the day that even the balls were ricocheting off the shoulder of Saha and going for four. So it was a brave move and it completely paid off, and that completely deflated Delhi.
Delhi looked jaded in the field today. They were sluggish. There were misfields. There were overthrows. There were balls which should have been stopped, which ended up going into the boundary, and that sort of reflected in their overall body language. They were not very inventive with their bowling. They kept bowling the same lines and lengths. They kept feeding Saha. They kept bowling into his body. And he plays. He's a decent, swivel puller, shovel puller, whatever you want to call it. And he plays that shot fairly decently. But despite sort of going for a couple of boundaries early, they kept feeding him, in the same. They kept bowling the same lines and length, and it didn't make for great viewing. You ideally would have wanted them to try something different. They seem to have hit some sort of a mental block, and that appeared in the way they bowled. And when they started the batting innings, Shikhar Dhawan was the only one who's been in any sort of form for them, and he got out of his first ball, and that basically meant it was an uphill task for Delhi.
I have been complaining that hitting power of Stoinis and Hetmeyer hasn't been utilized sufficiently enough. So today was an opportunity. They wanted to keep up with the same run rate in the power play. So the power hitters were promoted today, but it didn't work. So Stoinis, unfortunately, in fact, middled a very nice ball, but hit it straight to the fielder. So he got out. And then came the guile of Rashid Khan. When you have such a huge score and you have a bowler of the quality of Rashid Khan, it is just amazing asset to have. So he trapped Ajinkya Rahane with a wrong and he got Hetmeyer and he completely strangled the chase. So he ended up with the most economical figures in this year's IPL with 3 wickets for 7 runs in his 4 overs. That is unthinkable. And when you know that the opposition is having the quality of the batsmen that Delhi have, and they are coming hard at you because they are chasing a big total, this is an unbelievable spell. And that meant that Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer, who was batting lower down today out of his position, had to simply play him out to safety. And that meant the run rate actually went up to 14s and 15s. And that was, I think it was game, set, and match at that stage. So then it was just a procession of wickets, and every other bowler on the Sunrisers side got themselves on the wickets column. So it was a confidence boosting win and a completely forgettable day for Delhi. But I think they are now at a stage where not only are they at danger of not finishing in the top two, there could be a scenario where they may not even qualify in the playoffs. Of course, that is a far fetched thought, but it is still in the realms of possibility.
Absolutely, and it was a fantastic win for Sunrisers because they need to win. They had to win all three remaining games, and they were playing the top three teams. So this is one big tick. The next two games that they have against the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Mumbai Indians are both at Sharjah, which is a bit of a lottery because of the size of the ground. So they'll take confidence from this win, and hopefully they'll hope that they can replicate the same form against the other two top teams in this tournament. Your pick for the player of the match?
I think it had to be Ridhiman Saha. As you said, the Delhi bowlers did not know where else to bowl, and they kept feeding the hittable length and the hittable line for Saha's liking. That was probably because the whole move of elevating Saha as the opener came as a surprise, and therefore there must not have been enough homework done on the Delhi side. But Saha took full toll of it, and I think once given the license to bat the way he did today at the top, we know that he is capable of such crisp stroke play. Don't forget that he actually has an IPL 100 batting at the top. It was for Kings 11 a few years back. So he has the batting pedigree, and everything clicked for him today. So it was very wonderful to watch. And for the sake of Sunrisers, we hope that the injury that he had, he recovers soon, and we see him again keeping the wickets as well.
Absolutely. As Sunrisers had another injury concern with Vijay Shankar as well. So fingers crossed. Looking at tomorrow's game, this is a biggie, especially considering today's results, is between the other two teams at the top of the table, the Mumbai Indians and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Uh, are you going to be brave and pick a team?
No. Such has been the trend over the past few days in the IPL that I think predictions have all completely been thrown out of the window. So let's just stay back and enjoy the game that unfolds the way it is. So it is sure to be a crackerjack of a game. We have two tough teams. Both are coming off a loss, and both would actually want to get off that uncomfortable points tally of 14 points. So it is in Abu Dhabi. So I think it is more suited to Mumbai's style of play. If I have to sway one side, I'll say it is Mumbai's game to win. But that's not to say that RCB cannot challenge them.
Well, you did end up picking a favorite, and I was going to go the other way. I was backing RCB. So let's see what happens tomorrow. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to keep more videos coming your way. And as always, we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe.